right now, I feel like there's a lot more acceptance. At the time that I started, I was kicked out of church, man. I was singing one day in church and they snatched the microphone from my hand.
Wow.
Told me to get out.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pulse on the Record. My name is Elvis Christian, and with me today is a multi-award winning gospel singer, songwriter, you name it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Limoblaze.
Thank you for having me, man.
How are you doing?
I feel good. The weather is really hot. But other than that, I'm grateful, man.
I mean, this whole weather conversation, it's not that hot. I feel like here in Lagos, we're a little bit too dramatic. Because it's hotter in the north. There's heat waves in the UK. It's hotter.
No. Well. When there is a serious heat wave in the UK, it could get really wild because like you find people walking on the streets without their shirts.
Exactly. So it never gets that hot here.
But that is an event. When that happens, it is an event. It's not like
it makes the news. Yeah.
It's not like every day. Lagos right now, man. My head is really doing me in the heat. It's crazy.
All right. So let's start from where it all, began. How's it like growing up?
I was born in Makurdi, Benue State. I grew up there too. I have a lot of great memories growing up. Growing up was fun, to be honest. I grew up in a time where the world was still a much safer place, where kids could hang out, play together all day. Not like today, where everyone is just security conscious. The evil just keeps getting worse in the world today. But where I grew up, we could just hang out as kids, play all day together, go to school, come back. Life was really fun growing up for me. Especially in Makurdi, Benue State. It was a really small town. You knew most people in town. You could get to both ends of the town in like 30, 40 minutes.
Take that, Lagos.
I didn't know what traffic was until I got to Lagos. The only time you see traffic in Makurdi then was like during Christmas period.
And it's not
it's not like this. Yeah. It's not like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up was fun, man. My childhood was filled with a lot of family, friends, music, and church.
All right, so talking about music, right?
Yeah.
Of course, in the church, my name is Elvis Christian. Like, Christian is
nice.
Is
very on brand.
There's no running away from it, right? All right, so we know, music in the church, serving, being a worker in church and all of that. Parents are usually open to that idea.
Yeah.
So when did it click to your parents that, he might be taking this a little seriously, and how did they, take it?
I was actually in the choir since I was a kid. Children's choir, adult choir, church band. Always loved music. My parents knew, but I don't think they believed I was going to do music even after uni. Because even after 1 year after uni, my mom would call me and say, "Okay, when are you getting the job?"
Like looking at your hands.
When are you getting the job? I don't think they took it seriously until probably 2020. I think it was then they realized that, okay,
this is what it's doing.
This is what it's going to be. He's not really going to change his mind. Because when I was younger and I really wanted to do music, I first got a job at a studio. My dad didn't want me to get a job at the studio at first. We kind of had a back and forth about it, but then he finally agreed on one condition. As long as you stay top of class, you get to work in the studio. So I had to be really good in education too. But I guess somewhere at the back of his mind, he felt like this was going to be a phase. And after a while, I would just give up on it.
From yourself.
Yeah. But after uni and I was still going, I guess they eventually came on board.
All right. So listening to the kind of music that you make, right? It isn't exactly the conventional, quintessential Nigerian gospel music.
Yeah.
It's not praising the Lord all day type music. You right?
Yeah.
And I'm someone who is in the church, and I know how conservative Nigerian Christians can be. Is there any sort of pushback? I don't think this is really gospel music because it sounds, Afrobeat. So there's an Afrobeat element to your gospel music. Do you get any form of pushback? Or at least the older,
To be honest, today it is a lot better. So shout out to all the new artists in the space that come out today because I envy you guys. Right now, I feel like there's a lot more acceptance. At the time that I started, I was kicked out of church, man. I was singing one day in church and they snatched the microphone from my hand.
Wow.
Told me to get out. And I remember crying so much that day, but it was a lot of kickback from the church for so many years, man. I had to move churches at some point because the expression in me could not be held down. I feel like people try to shut down the expression in me so many times. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to find a place where I can express myself. So if I leave from this congregation, I know I'm not leaving the body of Christ.
Exactly.
I'm still in the body of Christ.
Yeah.
I just needed to find a Bible-believing church, a place. So I remember moving to a church where they had like a youth arm.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a lot more easier for them to let us express ourselves because it was like a youth and teenage church. So they kind of let us, even at that, we had a lot of limitations with it. But
you can do it, but not too much.
Yeah, but not too much. But not. I remember back then, whenever the elders are in church and you're asked to come and minister, because like I used to do like Christian rap too, like hip hop a lot. When the elders are in church, what I would do is like I would take out my instrumentals and just tell the pianist,
also like
just play the chord progression for me, and I'll do my rap like the spoken words. But then I found that when they could hear what I was saying,
it made sense.
It made sense to them, and they really started to become more accepting of it.
You know what? It's to in their defense a little bit, right?
Yeah.
When you hear rap music, right? Many times you don't hear the words.
Yes.
The rhythm, the melody, how it's flowing, and when you want to think, you think. Tupac immediately.
So that's the thing.
Yeah,
people. I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday, and he said something. People are unable to separate the art form from the character of the person in front of them. So the moment I come up and I start rapping, they're not able to see my character, my personality, and what I'm about. They're just seeing Tupac.
That's what they hear. He's talking fast. Who else is talking fast? Is that guy?
Yeah. So in their defense, I understand it. I understand it in that sense of it.
All right. So now this whole thing, has started a whole new discourse. A lot of people are like, "Oh, gospel music is becoming too secularized. Oh, they're bringing in a lot of influence from the world into." Because I'm sure you've heard these conversations here and there.
Yeah, I see it on Twitter every day, man.
Yeah. How?
To be honest, there might be some truth to it. But I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bath water. So I cannot speak for everybody.
Facts.
I can speak for myself. And for myself, I know what my music is about. I know where my music comes from, and I can confidently stand with anybody and debate the facts. If my music is a topic of conversation, then we can talk about it. I can take a song and tell you what the sermon or what the message is about in the song. I can't speak for everybody. I don't want to be the guy who is trying to. I don't think anybody appointed me the defender of the movement. So I'm not trying to do that. But I hear the concerns about there might be some of the music coming out of the space that lacks the depth, that lacks the where it feels like things are just being copied
and pasted
blindly into the space. And I hear that, and I don't think that is very healthy myself. So, but it's not all bad, but we're hoping it will be very good.
Feel you. All right. So now that is settled, you've had an illustrious career. I think you've been on a persistent high as far as like 2020, 2021. It's been up there. Killer features here and there, awards here and there. What is one moment that you experienced and you were like, yeah, I think I'm there. Of course, I understand that.
I don't think I'm there, man.
Wait, right? That's why I wanted to coach you. Because one thing I don't know, you want to throw in humility. Yeah, it's gospel music. You can't really call accolades. I mean, it's facts are facts, regardless.
Yeah, but you see, personally, I'm someone who is grateful for everything. One of my favorite quotes is, "I open 2 presents every morning. My eyes." 2 gifts every morning. I'm grateful for as the little thing is life. I'm grateful to be here. And so I am grateful for every single win. I don't think I've ever seen or experienced something and I said to myself, "Oh, now I've arrived." What does arrive look like?
When you like, so okay, let me give you what arrive look like. So typically you go, you drop a song and the PR, I don't know if you get, of course you do PR. PR budget was previously $1 million, but you've gotten significantly bigger. The bigger you are, the smaller the PR budgets. That's what I...
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay, let me change
not necessarily.
So more people are listening to your music.
Yeah, sure.
More people recognize you.
Sure.
More people want you to come to their church or their event. So that's, metrics to measure arriving, quote unquote, blue.
Okay, I hear that, and that is not how my mind is set up.
Fairs.
I don't think I rival in that sense. I don't think I'm bothered about those metrics. To me, all of those metrics are vanity metrics. I find joy and fulfillment every time I'm touring, I'm on the road, and I'm doing a show, and the room has a lot of unbelievers in the room. I'm excited about that because for me, when I think of my music is more outreach than in reach. So I'm like, I want to make music and do events where people who wouldn't typically find themselves in church on Sunday would want to come. And I experience that a lot when I'm touring. Like, I have non-believers come to the show, and for me, it's an opportunity to tell people about Jesus, and I'm always excited about that. And the more people I'm able to tell about Jesus, so in that sense, I am concerned about the numbers. I am concerned about the numbers. The more people I'm able to tell about Jesus, the more excited I am.
All right, that's nice. I mean, I could say, the song went on billboards, won awards.
So the thing about the billboards and all of that stuff here. At the end of the day, I'm still a human. Some things like that could excite me once in a while. But the truth about it is, it only excites me once. Maybe it's just me, but it excites me once. The first time that I get on billboard, I'm excited. But every time after that, I'm just like, okay,
that's arrival.
No. It's just like, because you see it, you experience it, and then you realize it's all just vanity.
It's part of it.
It's vanity. There's nothing fulfilling about this. It doesn't bring joy. It might bring a quick, fast burst of excitement.
Yes.
But after that, it goes away. There's no real joy in it. So by the time I experience it one time and I'm able to say, there's no real joy in this thing. The next time it comes, I'm just like, I'm grateful for it, but I'm not like gassed and excited about
it anymore. It comes to new normal. I'm sticking to arrival.
I give it to you.
All right. So let's talk about the movement, Young and Chosen. So what is it about? Of course, from the name, it's quite easy, but I'd like to hear in your own words.
So I put out an album last year called Young and Chosen. But Young and Chosen was not about the album. The album was basically just the first step to me launching this. Like you rightly said, it is a community. Young and Chosen is about a community of believers, young people who understand that there is a calling upon their lives, a calling that is even bigger than their existence. And they're being chosen for a higher purpose, which is to bring men. It's basically, at the end of the day, the Great Commission, to bring men to Christ and to be a tool for their lives, to be a tool of evangelism for young people around the world to see their lives and be like, oh, I want to have that. I want to live like that. I want to live the life where I'm unashamed of proclaiming the gospel at every turn. And so that is what Young and Chosen is for me. It started out with the album. We've been doing the tours. We're on the African tour, about to do a Europe tour and an American tour, and then some other locations. And all of that is really just outreach from point A to point B to C. And I'm hoping to be able to use this structure to also, what's the word again? To disciple younger people I have a passion for discipling young people who have got gifts, the talent in music, and to basically help them understand how to stay grounded in their faith while pursuing the gifting of their music. And That's pretty much Young and Chosen.
All right. So it's, it starts with an album, and it's, mentorship.
Mentorship. I'm gonna do a film at some point.
Ooh.
A book at some point. Young and Chosen for me is like, I'm gonna be here for a long time. Like, I'm gonna be on Young and Chosen for a long time. I feel like all of my journey, my music, my ministry, my career has been building to this point where God was like, now's the time. Now the vision is as clear as possible. Now it's time to really run with it. So it's like, it's a platform for me to really elevate the work that God is putting me on.
All right, that's nice. So now let's quickly breeze through the sample.
Yeah.
Because I was going through your Instagram, but first I saw you dancing, by the way. I wouldn't call it dancing shots, trying to dance.
I step no matter.
So I saw the sample cleared, Frank Edwards. How did that whole come about?
So first of all,
we sample a lot. First of all, we sample a lot in gospel music that we don't actually call it sampling, because I've heard different.
I call it sampling.
Oh no, of course. In these days, everyone is a lot more, exposed to now and knows the terminology. Because ever since I was young, would hear one song, different versions of one song, and it's something that's very common.
But that one is not even sampling.
She's cover.
That one is basically covering, remixing, redisking.
Yeah, and it's like
people just record somebody's song and put it on CD.
Put another verse inside it. You use that chorus and fly like that. So it was nice to see it. Now, especially with a song that I wouldn't exactly say is really dated and old and all of that. So
you just don't accept that you're old.
No, I'm not old. I'm just saying. So.
That song is dated.
Is it?
I was 15 or 14 years old when that song came out. That song is 15 years old.
Fair point. That's something. I'm older than the song. That's actually wild. A wild experience. Feels very strange.
You're like 20 times older than
Not really. Not really, but sure. So how did that?
I mean, honestly, that song meant a lot to me as a kid. I feel like if I'm thinking my very first experience of what I would call urban gospel music, two songs come to mind. Frank Edwards, You To The Bless Me, and Henry So, Your Love.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, those two songs, I think it's Your Love by Henry So. Those two songs, and then the third one would be Adaehi, Boboe. You might not know that song, but
and you're quite young. So.
But those songs for me, when I think of my first experience of what I call urban gospel music, it were those songs, and I've had it in mind that I'm gonna sample the song. Plus that piano is so iconic. If you were born in the 90s or early 2000, that sound is so iconic. When you hear it on radio, then it's like poof, mind blown. So I've held that in mind for a long time that I was going to sample it. And it was also my way of saying, okay, I want to pay homage to the people who inspired myself and my generation. And in the same vein, I'm hoping that I'm able to inspire the next generation. So that's what the heart behind that was. And I first of all made the sample with my producer, one of my producers, Coral, really gifted producer. We sat together, I sent him the idea, and then he sent it back to me. I was like, yeah, bro, we're getting there. We did a few tweaks here and there. Wrote, recorded. I actually brought in two of my friends to join me on the writing. One of them is an artist who is signed to me in Princeton South, and the other is like a younger artist in the UK, Tenin. She's really gifted, and we all sat together, crafted that, and then I called Frank, sent it to him, explained to him this is what my heart behind it was, and it was really easy going about it, and he cleared it, and we put it out.
Love that. All right, so now what is next? What's next? What should we expect?
Right now, I'm currently touring, about to finish the Africa tour in Nigeria. We've done 5 stops. We did Zimbabwe, Zambia, Nairobi. We just did Cape Town and Johannesburg last week. We're about to do Abuja and Lagos, so 7 stops. And then right after that, I have a Europe tour beginning in May. Belgium, the Netherlands, France, Austria,
It's a lot of arrivals.
I can't remember all the dates. Then after that, I have a US tour, and then my London headline show. I do a London headline show every year.
Oh, okay.
This year we're at the Roundhouse, which is like an iconic venue in London. Excited about that. In the midst of all of this, I have music to put out.
Yep.
And I'm still at a place where I'm trying to figure out, is the album gonna come out this year? Or is the album gonna come out next year? So that's that about music. I'm looking to do more films this year. I have a passion for acting, and I really want to see what my contribution to Christian film space,
that's what I wanted to ask.
would look like. I feel like I have a passion for that. I feel like it's something I really want to invest in. Ideally, I would want to set up a studio in Lagos, a film studio in Lagos, and just make Christian films. I'm one of those that believe that entertainment should not be overlooked by the church, because I feel like the world system strategically influences our mind through entertainment. And every time I go on tour, I'm on the road, my favorite thing is seeing the kids who their parents bring to the shows. Most of them are under 10 years of age, and I can see how impressionable they are and what the music means to them, and how much entertainment can impact them. And I just really want to keep doing my quota to see how can I influence the kingdom for Jesus. And at the end of the day, I feel like it's all I'm put on this earth to do. So I want to make sure I empty myself before I leave here.
All right. So let's talk about, more personal.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your beautiful wife.
Hey, shout out my baby.
So, from what I've seen online, at least, she was a long-time girlfriend turned wife. So what's
long term is a stretch.
Is it? Okay.
Long term is a stretch because my wife, the first date we met, I thought I wanted to marry her.
Oh wow!
On the first date, 8 months later, I proposed. And
that's a long time.
So I don't think I'll call it long term.
Barely.
But I kind of knew she was my wife the moment when we got on the first date. The moment she walked into the restaurant, I just knew this was my wife. Without a doubt. And I told her that day, and we happened to be on the same page. And for me, after salvation, a great marriage is the best thing anybody can ask for. She's my peace. She makes me excited to want to be home. Every time I'm away from home, they're the hardest moments of my life, being away from my wife. So
I feel like a lot of church, and I feel like a pastor wants to give you a mic talk in church because I was complaining, Christian brothers are not wanting to get married. It's like a pandemic these days.
I don't know, man. I think when I think of relationships these days, when I see the discourse on Twitter, for example, or X, as it's now called, it scares me a lot.
Yeah.
I have not been married for that long, bro. I'm just going to be 3 years by next month. But when I see the discourse, it scares me for the people who are unmarried, because I'm like, this can't be all that is left right now. Because like the discourse scares me, man. Like people have views and expectations on marriage that I don't understand where they're getting it from. And it all feels like a recipe for disaster.
Real.
So I don't know, people that are single, people that are unmarried. I've been out of the game for a long time. I don't know what you guys are experiencing. Maybe there's a reason why it's getting more and more difficult for people to want to settle down. I don't know, really.
I mean, there's a long list, but that's me. What different conversation. Anyways, guys, that is all we can take on this episode of Pulse on the Record. I had an amazing time. I think a very insightful conversation. Guys, go out, check out his music. There's a whole community there waiting for you to join. My name is Christian, and this is
Limoblaze.
All right, I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.